Hi there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Councilwoman Neville, and I am here joined by the lovely ladies of Axe as we talk to you about the importance of Denim Day. So let's get started with introductions. Lydia, can you tell us about what you do?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Lydia Teutsch, and I'm the Director of ACT Sexual Assault Services. We are located, our main campus is in Dumfries. However, we do have an office in Manassas as well. We do serve the entire county of Greater Prince William, as well as Manassas and Manassas Park. We provide individual support services, group support services, court, law enforcement, and hospital forensic exam accompaniment, as well as we also provide community education on the dynamics of sexual assault and sexual abuse. And our next introduction will go to Terry.
Thanks, Lydia. And thank you, Cydny, for having us. We're so excited to be here today. My name is Terry Swarchak, and I am the community educator for ACT Sexual Assault Services and ACT Domestic Violence Services. So I work for both programs. But the primary responsibility that I have is to go out into the community and speak to as many people as possible, schools, civic groups, any type of group, to share and spread awareness about sexual violence, to educate people, and to try to connect victims with our services. And I also oversee all of our volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering for sexual assault services or domestic violence services, you can always contact me. We always need volunteers. And I'm now going to hand this off to Yasmin.
Hi everyone, my name is Yasmin Chavez and I'm the bilingual sexual assault specialist at the Dumfries location. You guys already went over most of what we do, so I'm gonna pass it to Angela.
Hello, my name is Angela Samboy. I'm the bilingual sexual assault specialist in the Manassas office. What we provide as specialists are to be trauma informed, to provide our clients who are victims of sexual assault a safe place so they could speak and learn how to empower themselves to be a survivor.
Thank you so much, ladies, for those introductions. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Terry, could you explain to us the importance of Sexual Assault Awareness Month?
Yes, well, every April, communities, educators, civic leaders, community-based organizations, other rape crisis centers, tribal communities, everybody, we come together in April to try to promote sexual assault, and we plan special activities and events. Generally, we have, last year, for example, was completely canceled because of COVID, but we usually have a lot of things going on. But so far this month, we've had a lot of presentations, which has been great because that is the most important thing to prevent sexual violence, is to become educated first. So this month just reinforces everything we do all year, and also helps energize all the advocates and, to get us ready to go again and do a great job.
So what is Denim Day?
Well, Denim Day usually happens on a Wednesday in April, and it actually started in Italy when a person was convicted of rape, and then the justices there decided to overturn the guilty verdict because they decided that since the victim was wearing skin-tight jeans, that she must have helped him take her jeans off, which implied consent. So that was overruled. And that was actually, the verdict was overruled. He was let go. But that was only in 1992. So in Italy, it became known as the jean alibi or whatever, but we just know it as a day now to create awareness by wearing jeans, especially because it's on a Wednesday. So when people wear jeans on a Wednesday in a lot of organizations, people are like, "What? You're not allowed to wear jeans until Friday." But so you want to wear, and if possible, wear jeans and a teal shirt. Teal, as you can tell by all of us, is the color of domestic violence awareness. Of sexual assault awareness month.
Thank
Does
you.
that answer your question?
Yes, so exactly, you all gave a wonderful overview of the services that you provide, but can you share some details of the types of services provided by ACTS?
Services in general for the whole agency?
For the sexual assault services.
Okay, Yasmin, do you want to take that?
Sure. So some of the basic things that we do a lot of things like behind the scenes, but some of the most basic things that we do is individual and group support. We do crisis response to the hospital, though not right now because of COVID. Hopefully that'll start back up soon. We do court accompaniment and advocacy. We accompany our clients when they're going to hearings or preliminary hearings or meetings with law enforcement and things like that. We also do backup support to the ACTS helpline and also try to provide educational services when we can.
And everything that we do, I think it's important to note that everything that we do is free and confidential. Everyone is welcome. And we don't ask about immigration as well, too. So there's no reason that someone should not be getting help. Help is available. And if there's something beyond the limitations of what we can actually handle, we have referrals where we refer people out to other people.
Wonderful. So are there any statistics you can share about sexual assault?
Yeah, I'll do that. And I kind of like to read them because it's just me to read them. But literally, and this is a hard fact, every 73 seconds, another American is victimized. And what is sad about that is, well, it's sad in general, but every 9 minutes out of those people, that it's a child. So that victim is a child. And then 1 out of every 6 American women have been the victim of an attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. About 3% of American men, which is 1 in 33, have experienced an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime. And there is an organization called 1in6.org. And the reason they are named 1in6.org is because by the time a boy turns 18, 1 in 6 of them will have had some sort of unwanted sexual contact. So those are pretty staggering statistics. And I think it's also important to note too, and everybody just jump in, that most of the time the person knows their perpetrator, especially with kids. 93% of kids know their perpetrator. And 7 out of 10 adult women know the person that's assaulting them.
And as far as our statistics for the clients that we see at the program, generally monthly we see between 60 and 80 clients. So throughout the year, I'd say anywhere between 800 and 1,000 clients come through our doors in a year to get support for sexual assault, sexual abuse, or for secondary services too. And by secondary, we mean friends and family members of survivors.
So how does your referral process work?
We'll take referrals from anywhere really. We get a lot of our referrals come from the Department of Social Services. We also get referrals from other therapists in the area or other community-based healthcare systems like CSB or Greater Prince William Health Center. We get a lot of people just who've randomly Googled and found us, or people that have called our helpline at ACTS. So there is no formal referral process. Essentially, if you need or want our services, just give us a call and we can provide an intake for you almost immediately.
And the police refer to us as well.
Okay, so once someone calls or they're referred to you, what does that intake process, what does it look like? Could you describe that for those who are tuning in?
Angela, you want to take that?
Yes, because we have our Dumfries office and our Manassas office. We want to make sure that our client have a easier a location that could be easy for them to come and see us. So me being in Manassas, I serve the western side of Prince William, and Yasmin being in Dumfries, she served the eastern side of Prince William. So that's one of the first things we want to know, so we could give them the correct location. Our intake, it could be done by the phone, or we could do it by in person. Is done in a place that is safe, confidential. We get to know the client, we get to know them as a person, not just a victim. We want to know who they are. We do not pressure our client to tell us details. It's something that they do when it comes time for them to share the cause of them becoming a victim. But the intake referred for us getting to know them by name, small demographic information, age, preferred pronouns. They say sometimes we ask in relation to legal services, immigration services, just because before we could refer them to other services within Prince William. We want to know if they had children. We want to know also in that type, if they have any other type of need besides seeing us. Maybe we could refer them to our hunger prevention department. Maybe they need housing. Maybe they need other type of services that also could provide, or we could refer them outside our location. So the intake is a time for them to get to know us as a personal level, so they could become comfortable and they could see that we're here to support them emotionally, and so they could learn from our trauma-informed training.
Okay, so as part of your sexual assault services, do you provide any groups, any support groups that people can join, take part in?
Yasmin, you want to take that?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have about 3 groups right now. We have one adult group, English speaking, that we hold on Thursdays, I believe. Thursdays, let me make sure I got it.
Yes.
Thursdays from 7 to 8:30. We have a teen English speaking group on Tuesdays from 6 to 7:30, and then a Spanish speaking teen group Tuesdays 7 to 8:30. And we usually, those are guided by our self curriculum that we go by. It has, let me get the information here. It's a really, really extensive curriculum, and it's very non-linear. It's like each lesson that's in every module, it sets it up so new members can just join in and not have to have been there before prior, so they can just join in and keep up with everyone else. It's called the self curriculum, SELF, and each letter stands for something. So it's safety, emotions, loss, and future. So they address each of those main domains, and it comes with a lot of activities, a lot of resources, a lot of educational resources for the clients in the group. And it's honestly been very informal for me as well. It provides a lot of information that I probably didn't know, and it helps us as the leaders of the group kind of guide and help everyone open up. Of course, we don't pressure them to answer if they don't want to. It's really up to them how much they want to open up and what they want to share and how they want to share it. And then we also implement activities like icebreakers or like breathing exercises at the end or the beginning, just to if the lesson was a bit intense, so they can relax a little bit and kind of diffuse a little bit if it was a bit intense. But yeah.
And I think it's important to note too that even, over the last year, we haven't stopped serving clients. We've been, having our individual support sessions through Zoom or phone, and we've been doing group by Zoom too. I mean, we're looking forward to going back to, having everyone in person, but we've been able to maintain, working with our clients.
I have to say, I'm really proud of my staff for jumping right in. I don't think we missed a beat going from we are open and operating, and I think pretty much literally with the snap of a finger, we were ready to just transition to doing everything online. And I think it's worked very well. In fact, our numbers have increased by about 25% in this last year during COVID times.
You all are definitely to be commended for this much needed service you provide in our community. It sounds like nothing stops you from creating a welcome environment where people feel safe. You create a wonderful, safe place and space for those who need it. How do you help people when it comes to court? How do you help with accompanying people to court?
Our service, once we get a client and they have reported to the police, if they're minor, that's a requirement to be reported to the police. And if they're adult, there's not a requirement for them to report it, but it is something that if it is reported, we go with them through the process of the court. What we do is, because we do not give legal advice, what we do is to some of our clients who do not understand the legal system, we explain it to them. You know, what is a subpoena? What is a pretrial? What is, you know, what certain term they're not familiar with within the court system. We go with them to the court. We listen to what the prosecutor is saying, what the judge is saying. Most of our victims, they are present, but they're mentally and emotionally not able to retain all the information. So what I'm doing is not only supporting them emotionally, but also listening. So when we come back to have our one-on-one support meeting, is we understand what they say, and they tell me, no, I could go in and explain to them, this is what it meant, without giving them legal advice, but just giving them a basic understanding of how the court system works. Helping the client understanding the options and the right within the court system, giving them the right of victim and survivor, what is the role of the prosecutor, what is the role of the defendant attorney, those little little terminology that civilians don't know. We don't know all of this little thing, and when we are in a trauma state of mind, we really not all there to pay attention when they're in court. So my role is not only to be emotionally supported to them, but also to listen and then have a conversation with my client to see how much they understood or the process. We also do, we do referral within the legal system. I refer a lot of my clients to the legal service of Northern Virginia, especially let's say they're having either perpetrator was a father figure or biological father for custody. I refer them to legal service so they could get a legal advice from them. Or we also work with victim witness. So we work together to help the client as well. So it's a process of making the court system less scary for the client.
Right, and so do you also continue those resources when the court case comes up with those with your secondary victim clients?
We do. Secondary victim will be for a minor, a brother, sister, or the father, the mother, a grandmother. So a minor we do with the secondary victim because we want to understand what our minor clients are feeling, right? Most of them are not really open, but the parents are the one, giving us the window to what is happening at home with that child. Plus, as a secondary victim, most parents do suffer. They suffer because, they understand what happened to the children. They understand more than the children themselves, so they are suffering in silence. A lot of them are suffering and they want to keep it all together for the kids. So we offer them an opportunity to have someone to speak in confidence. And because sometimes they don't have a family member or another adult for them to talk to. So we are that person they could confide in and cry, and for us to also guide them through the system and how to help the children. For adult clients, it could be a spouse. It could be maybe the best friend. It could be someone that is helping them and supporting them at home, but they also need support themselves.
Mm-hmm. So
as far as the length of service, Cydny, just want to let everyone know that there is no end of service. Clients can continue to come to us as long as they want or need the support. And even if someone comes to see us for, say, 3 months and then they disappear for another 6 months, they're always welcome to come back. We have clients that have been with us for as long as I've been with the agency, which is a pretty long time.
And I think it's important to know the ages that we generally see. We like to say that we see kids 12 and up. On occasion, we will see somebody younger depending on the maturity level or what have you, but we will refer out for real young kids. But if you're 12 and older, obviously you need your parental consent to come see us. But after that, everything is confidential unless the kid's safety is at risk. So kids are welcome too.
So Lydia, I'm going to direct this question to you about trauma-informed care. Could you explain more about that and how the approach is used with ACTS?
Sure. So we do operate in a trauma-informed care model, and what that means is that we acknowledge that people that come to us have experienced trauma. It's almost just as simple as that. We acknowledge that people that walk through our doors have had events in their lives that might be causing harm to them. So we want to meet them where they're at. We don't want to change anyone. We don't want to say, this is what you must do. This is what our expected outcome is for you. We don't do any of that. We're here just to listen, to meet clients where they're at, and to let them tell us what they would like to get out of their sessions with us.
And anyone can answer this question, but the topic of a child advocacy center has come up in conversations about Prince William County government's budget. Could anyone elaborate on what that is and any role that you all may be playing with that?
I can give a brief update. There's been a lot of conversations about child advocacy centers as long as I've been working for ACTS over 10 years now. There's been a conversation about bringing a child advocacy center. A child advocacy center is where children can go to get their forensic interviews completed in a trauma-informed manner. And it's a place where children can go where they're interviewed one time. It's recorded and it's shared among people that would need to see it. So that way a child won't have to be re-traumatized by telling their story over and over. So I don't know all of the exact details, but from what I do understand, there is money set aside in the Prince William County budget. And also it will be falling under Prince William County Department of Social Services.
So we've been wanting this for years and years and years now. We're one of the few counties in Virginia that does not have the Child Advocacy Center, and we've never quite understood why. So we're extremely happy because we're the ones who have the clients who need to have that service.
And how would you explain the change? Have you noticed any change in sexual assault in our community, the sexual assaults that have been reported in our community over the past 5 years or since you all been working with ACTS Sexual Assault Services? From the time you started to present time?
I can't say that our numbers have changed that dramatically in 5 years. I mean, although, like I said, in the last year, we have had that 25% increase. However, I can say that people are more comfortable talking about sexual assault and sexual abuse. I think that's the biggest change that I've noticed throughout our county is people are talking about it. And, 5-10 years ago, it really wasn't talked about very much. It was something to be ashamed of. And what we're doing, especially with the addition of Terry as our community educator, is letting as many people know about our services and where they can come to get support. That's probably the biggest change. We also have more male survivors coming forward and members of marginalized communities, particularly LGBTQ communities, becoming more comfortable with coming to us for services. So we're really happy about that.